The top 4 things to watch in crypto and Bitcoin right now. There's so much going on in the world right now, but you need to narrow it down to these 4 things if you actually want to make money. So watch this video, guys. We got the top 4 things that actually matter for the price moving up or the price moving down. That's what we want to know, right? How to make money even though everything is so crazy right now in the world, okay? And then how to make money by watching and reacting faster than your competition. Guys, I want to show you how I've been playing this. I really think this is going to help you. So if you're excited about that, and if you're excited that I got my whiteboard back, baby, mwah, mwah, oh, I missed you so much. Make sure you smash the like button, guys. Let's get on with the show. I've got a banger plan for you. Seriously, I've got an absolute insane banger plan. I'm even going to do some drawing for you. So you're not even ready for what I've got in this video. So if you're excited about that, please do me a favor and smash the like button for me. I need every single person. Seriously, stop what you're doing. Stop right now. Stop. Do you see me? Smash the like button for me, please. I promise this is going to be great, and that really, really helps me out. Okay, let's just get on with it, guys. I'm super pumped. Like I said, I'm just going to walk you through the 4 things, and it's got these very, very mysterious letters over here, RFNU. So what does that stand for? If you're curious about RFNU and what it means, you got to wait till the end of the video. Okay, I'm just kidding, but I'm going to go through these really, really quickly. So here we go. Let's just get started with it. Let's just go. Let's just go. Okay, the very first one. And guys, follow me on Twitter at Kale Abe, Kale_Abe if you want to see a lot of this stuff sooner. Very, very, quick public service announcement. Now, first one. I'm excited about this today. What are we watching in this market? What actually matters? What actually is determining the price of Bitcoin, of altcoins, of all the crypto that you want to buy right now? Well, there's one letter that I think everyone knows and everyone's been watching the news. I don't know if you've heard of this lately, but it's this whole thing called Russia, okay? Now, I can show you all the squiggly lines that you want. I really can. I can pull up all the charts and all the squigglies. I have a lot of squigglies. Check out my chart. It's insane, right? This is an insane chart, and this is what a lot of crypto channels are talking about is, oh, we got the moving averages and the bullish divergences and all that stuff. And I do think that stuff is valuable at some level. But you know what's actually moving the price right now? It's this little country called Russia and this whole war that's going on right now. Okay, so, but I want to break it down a little bit for you because a lot of you guys don't know how to trade this, okay? And so what I've been doing to make a lot of money in the middle of this market is trading short-term price action based on news. And I know people say, don't trade the news. I don't know why they say that. That makes no sense, okay? So here's how I actually am beating the market a little bit here with the Russia news, okay? First and foremost, what you need to learn, and this is something that I've taught for a long time in our 2+2 project, which I'll talk about later. I actually have a video where I break this down, how to do this. But very, very quickly, guys, just a quick breakdown. You need to optimize your timeline, okay? So if you go to your Twitter timeline, look, I didn't even do anything here. I don't know what's going to pull up here on my screen, but my Twitter timeline is so juicy and so perfect. It literally just feeds me the information that I need to see. So when you are trying to trade this market, right, when you're trying to anticipate, which way is this going to, okay, what news is going to be bad? What news is going to be good? The only way that I have found to actually predict if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down is to have a Twitter timeline that is optimized, because Twitter is the fastest way to get your information. You're not going to get your information from CNN or any of these news places fast enough in order to actually anticipate. This actually happened to me last week, okay? Last week, I don't have the tweet pulled up, but I was trading Luna, right? It was somewhere in here. This is the Bitcoin chart. But let's just say, for example, right, that there was some news about how Russia invaded something or how Ukraine fought back and saved Kiev or, any of these things that are pretty big news, right? And so what actually happened is I was able to sell up here, like when we were at one of these zones, right? And buy back in down here. And all of that, I don't have the exact example up, guys, but all of that was based on my Twitter timeline because they were feeding me information faster than the news. So how do you get your Twitter timeline optimized? Well, it's very, very simple. Do not favorite anything that does not help you make money. I'm going to say that one more time. When you are scrolling through your Twitter, do not favorite anything that does not help you make money, because I have an example. I love the Golden State Warriors. I'm a huge fan of Steph Curry. You guys know, I'm a huge fan. But I started favoriting tweets about Steph and, making shots, and all of a sudden, my whole timeline was Steph Curry stuff. So I had to literally go up to, whenever I saw something that did not actually, meet my needs of making money online, like this one, like this doesn't really help me, right? Vulcan Forged right now, probably just unfollow Vulcan Forged because this is not actually helping me. This is a great altcoin, but at the very moment, right? This is not helping me. This is not helping me to trade the Russia news, right? So I'd probably just unfollow these guys. But let's say, for example, this was the Warriors tweet, right? You can go up here and just click on, I'm not interested in this tweet, and they'll stop showing you you stuff that doesn't help you make money. So that is my first recommendation. It really will help you guys. If you have an optimized Twitter timeline, you're going to be able to buy and sell at the tops and at the bottoms of these. Because look at this Bitcoin price action, right? If you would have sold here and bought here, or bought here and sold here, right? You'd be making so much money. And that's just on Bitcoin. It's even bigger with all the altcoins. Does that make sense? So that's the first thing I do for Russia. And so overall, obviously what I'm watching, guys, is bad news. Anything that means that Russia is advancing, right? Anything that means that Russia is being more aggressive, right? Anytime Russia is aggressive, the price of Bitcoin is going to go down. So when you see aggressive news, that means down. When you see positive news, like Russia is going to back off, that means up, okay? So I'll just put an A over here. This means down, aggression, and this means back off, B-O. I'm gonna put B-O. Back off means up. So you're watching Twitter and you're like, okay. This is the balance. That's how you're going to trade this news over the short term for Russia. Does that make sense? Okay, let's get on to number 2 here. Because number 2 is just as important. I would say Russia is the most important thing right now, but the second most important thing is F, which is the Fed. But I have a few tweets here about Russia really quick. Like, look at this. Like, this is an example. When you see tweets like this about how Ukraine is starting to win the war, that's kind of bullish, right? But if we were to see the reverse of this tweet, where it was like, oh, Russia is advancing on Kiev, that would be bearish, and that way you could trade that way. Does that make sense? I'm just trying to show you a couple examples. And one last thing before I move on from Russia. It seems like we're totally backing a madman into a corner right now. I don't really know what else I would do differently in this situation, but we've basically cut Russia off from the world. We are deciding, Russia, you're canceled, you're done, and they have nukes. So I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that be prepared for anything, guys, because this seems like a crazy situation to me. And prayers out to everyone involved that they make wise decisions. Can we all just smash the like button for wise decisions for this man and how the world reacts to this man? Because this is more important than crypto, right? It's crazy. The next one, the F, guys, is the money printer, the Fed. The Fed. I know I talk about this all the time, guys, but specifically, how are you trading this Federal Reserve news right now? Well, here's what's happening is kind of weird because it all comes down to the money printer, right? Are they going to print money? Are they going to support these markets? Yada, yada, yada. You guys all know this, right? Well, here's the language of that discussion, okay? It's called rate hike. All you have to do is search rate hike expectations on Twitter. Sven is a great guy to follow for this. I would recommend you follow Sven. He's amazing. They're all going to use the Russia-Ukraine crisis as an excuse to dial back rate hike expectations. Watch Powell next week. Okay. I'll show you another tweet real quick. While investors initially predicted a 50 whatever rate hike in March, markets now forecast a 25 rate hike in March. Do you see how this is going down? Basically what happened is before we had this war with Russia, people were saying that, oh, the money printer is actually going to slow down a lot. The money printer is going to go down here and really slow down. However, now that we've had this war, the market is starting to price in the fact that the money printer may not slow down as much as we had thought. Now, this is a very interesting dynamic. Stay with me here, guys, because I know this gets a little hairy, and trust me, I hate it when they say rate hike expectations, because that makes it makes it seem harder than it is. Okay, let me just show you very simple what this is. All right, I'll just draw so you can see. Okay, the Fed is either going to print money or they are not going to print money. Raising rates means that they are going to not. It's opposite. If they raise rates, they're going to print less money. Does that make sense? So if they I'll draw it out for you. Raise rates. That means bad. That's bad for Bitcoin. Okay, bad for Bitcoin. If they don't raise rates. Okay, RR. That is good for Bitcoin, okay? Just so you guys know, so you guys can keep that straight. I know that's sometimes hard to understand, right? Now, if they don't raise rates, now here's where it gets a little bit tricky. Stay with me, okay? The people are predicting. It's like Vegas. It's like some kind of like auction house. People are guessing if they are going to raise them or if they're not going to raise them, right? So before we had Russia, everyone was saying that we were definitely going to raise rates, right? We were going to raise rates like crazy. We're going to slow down the money printer and Bitcoin was going to go down. Now that we've had this, they're thinking that the Fed might pull the brakes on this a little bit and raise rates a little bit lower, a little bit later, which would be bullish for Bitcoin. I know that gets a little convoluted, okay? But here's why I think that this is a scary, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, guys. I think we're setting ourselves up to get screwed here because I have a tweet here that explains it from me, okay? I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you bulls need to chill. Russia is not a good enough excuse for the Fed to not raise interest rates, right? Inflation is a much bigger issue. Lowering rate hike expectations ahead of FOMC sets us up for an epic rug pull. If you don't understand that, guys, it's so hard for me to explain because there's so many noobs in crypto, but Inflation is a bigger issue than the Fed pumping your bags. Let me just say that one more time. Inflation is the biggest issue for the Democrats, the people who are in office right now. They cannot have eggs costing $5 million, okay? They just cannot. There will be pitchforks in the streets. So when it comes down to, are they going to slow down the money printer or not? Are they going to raise rates or not? It is my opinion that they have to raise rates. They have to slow down the money printer in order to get inflation under control, no matter what. And so when you see people like this saying that, oh, we're expecting that they're actually not going to slow down the money printer, right? That they're not going to raise rates, that just gets me all kind of nervous, because on March 15th, I think that we could get rug pulled, which means that they could come out and say, hey, I know you guys thought that we weren't going to do it. I know you guys thought that we were going to say, hey, Russia is the reason we're not going to slow down the money printer. Well, maybe they actually slow it down anyway. Okay, I know this is getting complicated because of all up and down and all this stuff, but just let me just one sentence for you guys so that you can summarize this, okay? As long as people keep underestimating this guy, as long as people keep saying, oh, you're not going to do it, you're not going to slow down the money printer, you won't do it, Russia, you won't do it, no, you won't. That just sets us up for more of a disaster when he comes out on stage on March 15th. So be careful headed into March 15th, which is the FOMC conference. If people are saying he's not going to do it, then he does it, he raises rates. I promise you that's going to be very bearish for markets. Okay, that's what I'm watching there. Make sure you're watching Twitter on that. Make sure you have an optimized timeline. I hope that made sense. Smash the like button if that made sense, if you're enjoying this video. The next one is the N. Hey! All right, what does N even mean? I already forgot. I'm just kidding. Thank God I have this pulled up. Narrative. N means narrative. There's a narrative forming that I think could be totally destructive for Bitcoin, or it could be the most bullish thing ever for Bitcoin. If you made it this far in this video, congratulations, because this is something that I'm like, I lose sleep over, because this is one of the craziest developments in the history of Bitcoin, okay? So I'm going to show you what it is right here. One more time, louder, for those in the back, right? For the maximalists, for all you people that are like, oh, everything is bullish for Bitcoin. Every single thing is bullish for Bitcoin. Russia, which is on the entire world's shit list right now, adopting Bitcoin to get around the SWIFT sanctions is not a good thing. So what has happened in the past couple days? The entire world has said, hey, Russia, you can no longer do business with anyone. You're screwed. You can't use credit card terminals. You can't send wires. You can't do anything. You cannot transact with the rest of the world. Now, if Russia is like, oh, okay, cool, I can't transact with you, I'm going to start buying Bitcoin. That is not a good thing, guys. That just means that Bitcoin is now associated with the country that everyone is not happy with right now, okay? So if you're thinking that, oh, Russia's going to buy Bitcoin and that's going to be great for Bitcoin and we're going straight to the moon, then you've lost your mind, okay? You need to seriously get your head checked, okay? So that's one thing, right? We need to be very, very careful that Bitcoin does not get associated with avoiding sanctions. That would be horrible, okay? So that's one way that this could go absolutely horribly wrong. Here's another thing, okay? Well, Ted's agreeing with me. Russia using crypto to avoid sanctions would be extremely bearish, contrary to what people think. I don't know why people think that would be good for crypto. We better pray to God himself that Russia does not start using Bitcoin. That would be horrible, okay? Can we smash the like button if you agree with me on that one? All right, now this last one, this is something that I need you guys to do. I got homework for you, okay? This is an incredible thread. Not many people read this thread. It's on my Twitter. You need to go read this. This is a thread about how this is all playing out and how it is going to affect the global monetary system. You guys know that the US dollar is the world reserve currency, right? This is the thing that supports the entire global economy. It's called the petrodollar. It means that if you are buying oil anywhere in the world, you have to use dollars as of right now. But what just happened over the past weekend, this is huge, guys, huge. Russia basically everyone just said, hey, Russia, guess what? We're not going to let you use dollars to buy oil anymore. So Russia's like, okay, cool. And so they're literally ending the dollar era for buying oil. The implications of this are insane. This weekend was one of the craziest weekends in the history of mankind. I promise you. Go read this thread. I don't have time to go through all of this, but it basically walks you through how this is going to affect the US dollar dominance and how this is going to basically turn the world into two. He says at the end of this, right? I'm just going to cut to the chase. He says at the end of this, that this is kind of like what George Orwell predicted in his book, that there are two economies now, Eurasia and East Asia, where we have China and Russia kind of doing business over there and cut off from everyone else. And now we have US and everyone else doing business, like it is crazy what this could lead to, guys. And it's not necessarily bullish for Bitcoin. It's not necessarily bearish either. It depends on which way it goes, right? If everyone starts using Bitcoin to kind of get around it, if everyone's using it, well, then it's going to go to $1 million. But if it's like cut off and like half the world is like, no, and half the world's like, yes. And then people are like, oh, you're using it, you're bad. It could go a million different ways, guys. I don't even know what to say about this. I don't even know how to like draw lines in here. But basically what I'm saying is that the narrative around how Bitcoin is going to be used over the next couple of years, whether it's by good countries, bad countries, whether it's by the Russia people or the United States kind of alliance, this is a crazy time for Bitcoin. I said this on Twitter. I don't know if it's right here. It says, I said, it's not, I don't have it pulled up, but I basically said that this is literally the most crucial time in the history of Bitcoin. Everyone's been saying that Bitcoin is freedom money and Bitcoin is going to be the next world reserve currency. Well, it's time to step up, guys. If you go read this thread right here, you're going to see that basically over the next 2 years is going to be the proof in the pudding. Is Bitcoin going to be something that affects the world on a global stage, or is it going to be something that's just this fun little currency that like a couple weirdos trade in a basement, right? That is how crazy this is. And so I can't give you a definitive answer on this right now at all. All I would say is you need to watch Twitter and see what narrative develops around Bitcoin, because it's not going to be the maximalists who are like, hey, everything is good for Bitcoin, everything up, 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 up only, up only. No, it's going to be whatever the mainstream, everyone actually thinks about Bitcoin. Is it actually freedom money, or is it actually just this fun little coin that people trade in the dark and it's like not even used for anything, and now half the world isn't going to use it because Russia's only going to use gold? I could go on, okay? But go read that thread and start to actually think about this in your head. Which way are we going to go over the next couple years here with Bitcoin and with crypto? Because that could affect your long-term theses about Bitcoin. Just throwing it out there. Okay, if you enjoyed that, stay with me because I got one more. Okay, the next one is an unknown buyer, guys. The only other thing that could really affect the market right now is an unknown buyer popping up and kind of becoming the next Michael Saylor here, okay? Because these things are too strong. If you just look at my board right here, these things are way too strong. Russia, the Fed, I mean, these things move the price like nothing else, right? If you've been watching the Bitcoin chart lately, you know that the only things that really are affecting this, right, is Russia news and the Federal Reserve. That is it. That is the only thing that's doing it. And so we need big time stuff like a narrative shift or a massive new unknown buyer to come in here if we are going to get price action. So again, what would I do? I would watch on Twitter and see if an unknown buyer comes in. So someone like Michael Saylor, right? If a huge company CEO comes out and starts supporting Bitcoin, that's huge. You need to start buying, right? Or if these El Salvador bonds, El Salvador is literally raising $1 billion in order to buy Bitcoin. If that gets a lot of attention and sells out like immediately, right? That's really good news, right? I don't know if it's good enough news to go to supersede a war, but it is really, really good news. So you need to be on Twitter, you need to be focused, you need to be watching channels like mine, and to be thinking about where's the money going to come from, right? If the money printer is actually going to turn off here, if it's going to slow down here, if this crazy guy right here is going to put the whole world on notice, right? We need to think about where is the money going to come from to actually boost the price of Bitcoin. It's not going to come from fairy tales and unicorn dreams and tears, right? It's not going to come from all these maximalists making podcasts. It's got to come from somewhere. And so hopefully we find another Michael Saylor here in 2022 if we're going to have serious bullish momentum. So that is what I've got, guys. And you're probably wondering, like, what do I do, right? I told you guys, like, how to make money, right? I want to show you how to make money in this market by reacting faster than your competition. Well, what I'm doing, okay? Very simple strategy, and I outlined this in an earlier video, is basically I'm putting some money in Anchor Protocol, okay? Anchor Protocol is where you earn 19% interest on your UST. This is the stablecoin that is in the Luna ecosystem. Now, Luna and UST work hand in hand, okay? It's like me and my. It's like a boom, 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 okay? And so if you have Luna, what I've been doing is this. It's very, very simple. I've been using some indicators like I have here. The indicators that I use, if you guys are watching, I saved this for the end for you guys, is Alpha Trend Suite and Lux Algo. You can go Google those and grab these indicators. They're both amazing indicators, okay? So as you can see, if you just watch the indicators, like look, it says buy down here and it went up. It says sell up here. It says strong sell and it went down, right? It's very, very simple and easy to use. And it's helped me to do these short-term trades. And basically all that I'm doing, I'll show you on Luna, okay? I've been making a lot of money on Luna just doing this because I'm not in any rush to like trade anything because I have the money sitting on Anchor Protocol, right? I'll have it sitting here and it's earning 19%. So a 19% interest, I don't even need to trade if I don't want to. That's amazing, right? But if I see an opportunity, if I see one of these indicators flash like this, right? If I see an indicator flash here or this was a huge opportunity down here, obviously. If you see a strong buy signal on one of these indicators, what you can do is within your Terra Station wallet, you can literally just swap between UST, which is a stable coin, and Luna. Okay, and so what you can do is just ride up an easy move, an easy bullish move like this. You can ride up this amazing, what is this, like a 50% move here? You can ride this massive move up, and then when you get here and it tells you to sell, you just sell the Luna back into UST and keep earning interest on it. You never even have to move it, right? And so it's so easy. This is a strategy I think is gonna make me millions of dollars in 2022. I'm crushing it. I hope you guys will jump along. If you wanna get the details of when I'm entering and when I'm not entering, because Luna is a very, very massive coin, and I don't, we can just talk about this. This is like a total, we would never talk about a smaller coin in Discord, but we could talk about a coin that's like this big, or we talk about, honestly, you can just trade it based on Bitcoin. Honestly, I'll just tell you, look, I'm buying some Bitcoin here, I'm buying some Bitcoin here, and I'm selling some Bitcoin here. And that same thing works for Luna, right? Because Luna goes up and down based on the price of Bitcoin. And so I post those trades in Discord sometimes, our 2+2 Genesis project here. I'll just pull that up right now. It's a good segue. Join our 2+2 Genesis, guys. It's on OpenSea. Go and check it out. Just search 2+2 Genesis on OpenSea. There's only like 38 units that are below 1 Ethereum right now. So as soon as we sell out 38 of these, the price is going to be over 1 Ethereum. So this is like literally on a last second sale here for real. Like once we get 38 people that actually want to learn, that actually want to be a part of an amazing community, that actually want to try to beat this market, like we have an amazing discussion going in there. I'm in there all the time. I was in here right before the video. I love our community of 2+2, and I'm so pumped about it. So make sure you buy one of these NFTs and jump in the community, because I would love to say hi. And then the last thing is, this show is sponsored by BlockFi. BlockFi.com/Kale, guys. Go check it out. They're not accepting more USA accounts right now, but if you're not in the US, you can get all this stuff. And if you are in the US, you can still earn money just by opening an account. So it's free money. Go check it out, BlockFi.com/Kale. That's all I got. I'll see you guys later. Peace.